It is necessary to purge the establishment.
What she's suggesting that churches do, a focus on
That's not necessarily a good thing to start
Yeah,
with.
they're stating it.
Wasn't around when we needed the greatest generation in the 30s or 40s or
happen before the election because there's too many Republicans that are afraid that their wrongdoing is going to.
It's unacceptable, and I'm not going to sit here, stay silent, and not call it out. I'm calling out their lies.
Do they think that we are so stupid that we will not notice and find out?
Yo, it's your boy 2 Cent. It's Monday. It's 7:30. So that can only mean one thing. You're going to hang out with me for the next 30 minutes. We got some pretty good topics to talk about. I'm really excited to be back. This is our second show since the return. If you guys didn't know, I had a little bit of an accident and now I'm back. And we're going to sort of just keep having this conversation as we move along. Juan will be putting up your messages all night tonight. We'll take some time. We'll put them across the bottom. I'll interact directly with you. We're going to have a good time. If you've been with me for a while, you've kind of seen the show mature, and in a way it's not matured, if that's kind of what I want to say. Like we've gone from very stiff. I used to wear a collared shirt and be very, I'd write a script for you and it had a flow and segues, and I really wanted it to look professional. And I started realizing while we were getting the point across and it was a good show, it wasn't me. You guys are here for me. You're here for this guy. I got things to say. I'm animated. I'm Mr. Energy. We have stuff to say. I move my hands a lot. And apparently I've been told I'm controversial. I didn't think that was the case. I thought I was pretty mainstream in what I was saying, but sometimes I go on other people's podcasts and they say that I'm controversial. I guess it's all relative. We do have a controversial topic for you tonight. I'm not sure that my followers are going to agree with me, which is fantastic. You know that I absolutely encourage disagreement. I encourage us to debate civilly, for us to talk about the policies and the ideas, not to attack the person. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I jumped on a live recently where someone was saying that abortion is healthcare. I have long determined I am never, ever going to change a pro-abortionist point of view. I don't call it pro-choice. It's pro-abortion. The result is an abortion. And it's not a choice when it comes to whether or not you're going to get plastic surgery. You're trying to abort your pregnancy. So enough talking around that. So, but this person labeled it abortion is healthcare. Okay, here we go. We have yet another effort by the left to conflate and to change meanings so that way they can either one, make their point in somehow of a gotcha situation, or two, to once they get you to accept their new word, oh, if it's healthcare, then taxpayer dollars should be paying for that, and your insurance paid for by other people should be paying for that. And so I jumped on and I very simply made the point, if the healthcare results in the termination of a life, how is that healthcare? To which this person agreed with me that it was a life. The life is then terminated. And I said, okay, well, I'm sorry. Seems like your viewers aren't going to get any fireworks here. We agree, it's over. She then went into her new words of dependency, which is a great one. She brought up the idea if somebody else is beholden to give the medical needs to someone else. And all of it was a straw man at best, or just a way to, again, conflate in order to get you to take a situation from over here and apply it to there. The point is, we disagreed, but we did it civilly. And at the end of it, and it turns out my two older daughters, one who agrees with me, one who doesn't, we are not a monolithic family by any means. They had stumbled across the fact that I was on somebody's live, and I immediately got a call from them, and we talked about it. As I was leaving that live, someone had said, that was the most civil dispute I've ever seen. Thank you. I will take that feather in my cap, and kudos to the woman with whom I disagreed. And how fantastic was it that I conducted myself in a way as if my children were watching, and it turns out they were watching. How great was that situation? I was really happy with that situation. I was definitely proud of myself. You know that I push that around here, so I'm not going to miss an opportunity when you and I are talking to not tell you a situation where I conducted myself appropriately. I can't advocate for it and then not exhibit that myself. I have to put it out forward, right? So a little anecdotal story for you guys, and let you know that, hey, I mean it. I absolutely mean it. Here's one other thing when I say I mean it. What's the biggest thing that I push for 2022? I did a weird long pause like it was Blue's Clues, like you're going to shout it at the screen. The one big thing that I push for 2022 is voting. We're going to get out and we're going to vote. So that's step one. I can't put my money where my mouth is until November, but the second one, maybe 1A, is that I say get involved. I am tired of watching the left out hustle us, outwork us, out recruit us, out grassroots campaign us. I'm done with it. So I am saying get out and get involved. I can put my money where my mouth is on that. I'm doing it in two ways. And I'm going to encourage you to do something similar. And I would love to hear from you what you're doing to get involved, because you are getting involved. Step one, here's something I'm doing. I'm starting to take a look at who's running in my local elections. I've got city council coming up. I've got my representation up in Tallahassee. I have my representation up in Washington, D.C. And I want to know who's running. Why? Not because I simply want to vote for them. I want to see if there's someone to whom I want to volunteer my time. I'm going to start getting involved, and I want to see you start getting involved. Not all of us have the time and the capability to go knock on doors and hand out flyers, but we might have another capability. Maybe we can make some phone calls. Maybe we can sit at a booth when there's an event going on and this candidate has a booth set up for it. There are things that we can do, and I'm going to start doing them, and I know you're going to start doing them. The next one that I'm doing to put my money where my mouth is, to set the example so I can tell you to do the same thing, is I'm getting involved with my local Republican chapter. When I went there, I saw that even though I'm in my early 40s, I was by far one of the youngest people in that room. And thank you for saying that, Timothy. We're going to vote. We're going to vote. We're going to vote. We absolutely are going to vote, but we're going to get involved before the vote. You're going to turn your vote into 2 votes, 3 votes, 9 votes, 100 votes. That's where we get crushed. And here's ways that you can do it. I'm going to get involved with my local chapter of Republicans. I saw immediately that I was one of the youngest people in the room. No one younger than me was there, and almost everyone was much older. While that generation is definitely highly appreciated, and they come with strong conservative values, and they set the example for us, I immediately saw that this chapter has work to be done when it comes to reaching, I would say, elder millennials, baby Gen Xers, and the dreaded Gen Z. Has anyone reached out to Gen Z? So that's going to be the first big thing where we look to find potential candidates. You can quite simply write your county candidate. Write that. My city council candidate. You can look up what your local, for me, it's Brevard County. I'll give you guys that much. Brevard County Republicans chapter. What county are you in? What state are you in? Do that simple search, reach out and call them, show up to their next chapter event, let them know what you can do. Something I'm going to start doing, and I was going to the Republican chapter before I got hurt. I was going to let them know I would really like to work with you about reaching baby Gen Z, elder millennials, and of course, maybe we can reach out to those that shall not be named appropriately because they're all Harry Potter heads, but thou shall not be named Gen Z. He who we shall not speak of, I think is how it goes. These are things I'm going to do, folks. I can't tell you to do this sort of stuff if I'm not doing it myself. I'm going to hold you accountable. You're going to hold me accountable. I'm not saying everyone can go knock on doors. I'm not saying everyone has time to do these things, but you have time to do something. And what are you going to do? I'm not saying open up your purse. I'm not saying we got to do that. We have time. We have energy. We have abilities. Get involved. I've given you a couple, and I want to hear back from you on what you're going to do. Okay, soapbox time. Oh, the whole thing is a soapbox, but when it comes to voting, you're just going to get pounded over that, guys. All year, you're going to get pounded over that. Let's talk about what day it is. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let me talk about something I saw just before we came on live. I saw Steven Crowder doing a piece, I sound so formal, doing a bit on Martin Luther King Jr. and the lesser known facts of Martin Luther King that are negative. And I say to him, why? Why are we doing that? Aren't we then doing exactly what the left was doing when they say they want Mount Rushmore destroyed because some of the people up there were slave owners? Aren't we doing what the left is doing when they want monuments of Jefferson taken down and they want George Washington taken down? Aren't we doing the exact same thing? When we put up a statue or we study them and learn about them, are we saying that they're great entirely? No, we're not. I'm not saying that at all. But why are we going to play the game they're playing where we want to point out, is this a gotcha moment? What was he trying to do other than do exactly what they do? I was taught as a kid, mind you, I went to elementary school in the 80s, so it wasn't too long after his assassination, that he led a civil rights movement. He was a proponent of peaceful protest, and he advocated for peacefully equal rights. What a great message. What a great message. I'm not a minority in this country, and I was taught about a minority, a black man, an African-American man who led people and inspired people to be peaceful in their protest, to be heard. What a great message. Can we also talk about that there were some bad things? Sure. I'm not saying that at all. None of us are perfect. I'm pretty sure there was one person who was perfect. It ain't you, and it definitely ain't me. So if we're going to try and say that our guys are immune to this cancel culture of get rid of the statues because they were all so bad, why would we do the same thing over here other than this weird gotcha moment? I can't be for it. To present it and say he wasn't perfect, obviously. It also goes to this idea where the left says, you're afraid of teaching history when it comes to CRT, but we also don't teach CRT, so you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so which one is it? But no, we're here for teaching that America hasn't been good. And if you heard Governor Youngkin say, we're going to teach our children about America, the good and the bad. Yes, we're going to teach the good and the bad. There is bad there. But we're not going to say that America is bad, that it is wholly bad, that because of things that have happened in the past, you, because of your skin color, are the oppressed or the oppressor. That's not going to happen. So if we're going to advocate for that, which we are, why would we then fall into this trap of what Steven Crowder is doing? I just couldn't buy it. What do you guys think of that? Give me some comments. Let me know. It's a little bit of a riff off the top of my head because I didn't like it. I just didn't like the idea of let's expose all these bad things that he did. And it was not in a way of saying Martin Luther King Jr. was a man who was inspirational and brought an end to segregation, and integration was a part of his message through peaceful protest. And yes, there were some bad things. That's a lot different than, let me tell you all the bad things about him, and let me tell you all the horrible things, and that should somehow change your perspective on who he is. I thought it was gross. I thought it was quite gross, and I felt it was exactly what the left has been doing in their efforts to take down this country. Let me know what you think about that. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No segue on this, but maybe a little bit. It's a bit of a cognitive dissonance, and I'm watching it happen. You're watching it happen in real time. What am I talking about? Going into the new year, we could see the numbers were bad. We could see that the cases were bad, the deaths were bad. In 2021, you had more deaths than you had in 2020. Cases were through the roof. Records were being set left and right. And I said, watch. Go back and watch my video on TikTok, 2 Cent KSJ. You can find it over there. And I've been saying it since. They're going to start changing the narrative. And lo and behold, they start talking about the difference of and with. All of a sudden, this is something that we need to keep track of. Jake Tapper and Sanjay Gupta are saying it. That's heresy. I remember the good old days where that was taking down accounts. That if you said, there's a difference between showing up at the hospital with a broken leg and then testing positive for COVID and going to the hospital because your COVID symptoms have brought you there. There's a difference of that. You're trying to get people killed, or you're trying to defend your politician, or you're trying to change the numbers. Every case counts. Every case matters. Now, in real time, you're watching cognitive dissonance. And what do I mean by that? They are twisting themselves 180 in a knot into anything they could. Treason arrests and treason penalties now. I'm not quite sure for what, but yes, obviously, if there's true treason, then yeah, we need to prosecute that. Okay, cognitive dissonance. So in the past, they would accuse you of trying to change the numbers while you were actually saying, nope, there's a difference, and let's find out what it is, because with should be treated one way and of should be treated another way. Nope, you're trying to get everyone killed. You're trying to change the numbers. You're trying to protect your guy. Now, in real time, you're watching them say, there's a difference of with and of. Yeah, we definitely need to keep track of. And when there's with and of, it makes a big difference. And that's why these numbers, and it's watching them do it in order to change the numbers after they yelled and screamed at you that you were changing the numbers. But as they do it in an effort to change the numbers, and it's just mind melting. It is absolutely mind melting to watch this happen. I called it. I can see the future. I think I've proven it time and again. I can most certainly predict the future. I've done it. I will do it again. I'm predicting that I will do it again. That's how good my predictive skills are. I shall predict the future again. I'll give you another example. The CDC has long been accused of being used by the Trump administration to get his message out. Again, to change the perception. That's bad. That's an independent, science-based body. We were told to trust the science, and they correctly called out that Trump was trying to get them to change the messaging. Now that the numbers are really, really, really bad, they're starting to say things that we weren't allowed to say before. Dr. Fauci himself said there's a difference of a child going to the hospital with COVID, and there's a difference of going because of COVID. That's a major difference there. That's a major difference. You have them saying that the numbers are being skewed by this. So they weren't skewed the last 2 years? The last 2 years, we were just crackpots, right? Tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, right? I mean, am I right or am I right? Or am I right? It's been wonderful, truly wonderful to watch this twist happen in real time. Well, why? It's 2022. What are they going to run on? They're trying to revert back to, well, we got our COVID relief bill and we got our bipartisan infrastructure bill, which nobody's going to see anything out of it for years. And two, who says it's actually going to go where you think it's going to go? And D, I absolutely don't think that's the case whatsoever. I really don't. And I don't know anyone else that does. But they got their bipartisan, hey, sorry I'm late. Well, I'm glad you're here, Lori. Go ahead and give me your comments. I'll definitely be sure to address them. I appreciate that. They're backtracking because of the midterms, hoping everyone forgets the previous message. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's what we're talking about right now. They're doing all kinds of backtracking, and they're trying to make things look different than they actually are. They can't run on any accomplishments. I told you when you get on this show, you're going to get a few things. You're going to get good looks, you're going to get laughs, and tiny bit of a civics lesson just so we can kind of understand what's going on. Last year, to pass the COVID relief bill, which we didn't need, which is causing inflation to rise, they used budget reconciliation. So any bill that affects the debt or the budget, the Congress can the Congress as a whole, through a simple majority, meaning the minority doesn't have to be represented at all, can pass those bills. That's what they did with the COVID relief bill. So with the slimmest of margins in the House and with a 50-50 tie, and I think it was 50-49 in the Senate, or potentially with a tiebreaker of the vice president, they were able to pass that COVID relief bill, 0 Republican support. They're allowed to do that twice in a year. They could have, and by all means should have, been able to do that in order to pass Build Back Better. And they didn't get it through. They couldn't get Manchin, and I'll tell you right now, they couldn't get Sinema, and there's probably some other Democrats right now in purple states who are going, whew, I'm glad I didn't have to go on record as a no when it came to Build Back Better, because now I can actually go back and campaign on it, even though I never went on record for it. So tiny civics lesson there. They had the opportunity to do that twice, and they were only able to do it once. That is a major, major fail. They got the bipartisan bill through, which I still don't support because it's bloated. Of course, it's always bloated. Nobody knows where that money's going to go. Nobody will ever know where that money's going to go. But they actually had the availability to do it twice. Epic, I mean epic failure that they were not able to do it twice. And it goes to show that moderates are important. Representing your state and your constituency is important. And that's what Joe Manchin did. He's in a full red Trump MAGA country state, and he's a senator. Again, AOC, I know this is foreign to you. You're in the House of Representatives. You represent the population, and the Senate represents the states. I cannot stand when I see liberals say that they don't want the Senate being represented by a lower population. Great. You have the House of Representatives. You have exactly what you want. You've asked for it, and we already gave it to you. We already did that. We split the legislative body into 2. That way you could be represented by your population, and then the states could be represented. I can't stand it. They always separate that, and they prey on people's ignorance. And that's exactly why they do it. So the quick civics lesson there was massive fail by the Democrats, and they were not able to get that done. I think it's time for controversial topic. Are you all ready for controversial? It's so controversial, I can't say the word controversial. Looks, I don't see a mirror. Well played, well played. But we can't be all as dastardly handsome as me. What's your input on the barriers that are going up around the White House? What is that? Mr. Transparency, we're not even going to talk about it. It's weird in the very least. Not talking about it makes it weirder. Can we just say, oh, this, that, the other, and that's the reason that we're doing it? Nope. Let's just say nothing. Let's just say nothing because nobody's going to notice. The most iconic building on the planet has. Go off the air. Oh, we're back. It's Monday. We're going to start over. It's Monday. It's 7:30 p.m. We're going to do a show tonight. All right, Juan. That was great. Okay, everyone, don't get mad at Juan. He's a veteran. He's a strong Christian man. He works. He sets all of this up for us, so we can't give him too much. I will give him the business on this as we go forward, but I don't want you guys to give him a hard time. Yes, it's super, super weird that they're not talking about it. That's what makes it weirder. Juan, before, I think I got about, 5 minutes left? Before I get to controversial topic, can you give me any more across the bottom that you got? You got any more for me? Or we can go. Yeah, he's going to give me some more. The barriers are strange. I thought it was a commercial break. That's fair. We need to start doing that. I need to actually get on TV so that way I can get commercial breaks. Is it weird that Hillary Clinton is sniffing around another run? Absolutely not. Go back a couple weeks. Your boy said it. I predict the future. That's another one. She's running, folks. Joe Biden having zero ability to run this country and his numbers down 40%, 33% are absolutely blood in the water when it comes to Hillary Rodham Clinton. She's sniffing. Donors are sniffing. You may potentially be looking at Trump, Hillary too. And on this one, I would hope that Trump learned from what happened in specifically, and I know I teased you guys on controversial topic, but I'm digressing now. It's specifically in debate number 1 with Biden. But do you think she can win? I absolutely think she can win. I absolutely think she can. She's learned a lot by too. She's going to go to Wisconsin, first of all. She didn't make one trip to Wisconsin last time. That would have made a big difference. She can, what's really weird is she can actually, as a Democrat, as Hillary Rodham Clinton, she can actually run as the change candidate. That's how screwed up everything is right now. I would hope, again, and I'm teasing you guys on controversial topic, and I'm going to keep doing it. I would hope that Trump learned from debate number 1 against Biden, where he wanted to fluster Biden, and we all wanted it. We all wanted him to get Biden riled up so he'd start stuttering and stammering and looking bad. And I think, unfortunately, he turned off a lot of suburban moms. Let's just say what it was. He turned off suburban moms when he was that aggressive. I think it was for a lot of suburban moms the last straw where they were like, man, I like the fight, but man, everything can't be a fight. I think he lost some there. Being a little more focused, I would hope he's more focused going forward. Yes, we want you to fight the fight. We want you to drain the swamp. You can't fight everything. And when you do fight everything, it dilutes the message. I think and would hope that he has learned that. Hillary will learn to, I can't believe I'm going to say this, perhaps be humble, to not be entitled to the throne, to stop calling herself the president before she is the president. I really don't think that American people want Hillary as first female president. I really wish we can get past that. Can we just look at them as the candidate? I guess for some, it's important to say the first female. I just wish we could say that person who has the last name of Clinton, and these are their policies, and this is why I disagree with them. I really don't want race and sex and sexuality brought into this, but for other people, I get it. It's important, and they want that representation. I get representation is really important to some people. You know, if there aren't a lot of small Italian people represented in movies and television and commercials, everyone and their brother seems to be represented, but where are the small Italian men? Like I'm not represented. Do you think Trump will really run? It's looking more and more like it. I'll get back to that in a second. But when we do talk about this idea of representation, where are the small Italian men? I don't see them. Do you think Newsom has a chance? Newsom, I don't think he has the momentum right now. I think he would be best served to, 1, not run against Hillary. 2, he doesn't really have the momentum. A lot of the country knows him and really hates Newsom. Do you think Epstein Maxwell relationship hurt Hillary? Of course not. Of course not. The media is not going to bring it up. The media learned their lesson by actually reporting on the email server. As someone who works and has worked in the classified arena, if I had one classified email in my personal email, I'm at least losing my clearance, if not going to jail. Juan, am I right? Juan knows it. Yes. If you have one classified email in your personal email and then you lie about it, you're not going to have a clearance anymore, let alone you're going to prison. You're going to prison. That's bad, bad, bad. So the media made the mistake of actually reporting on that. Of course, Newsom has a chance if they cheat. So the whole cheating and stealing, yes, they changed the rules. Yes, Philadelphia, without using their representative body, changed their rules and they didn't pass any laws. Yes, the media colluded with the candidates. Yes, they suppressed information. Yes, big tech suppressed any dissenting opinions. Who would be Trump's running mate? People have questioned whether or not it would be DeSantis, but I have long said that I don't think the two of them could cooperate. Because they're both alphas. They're both strong. I think DeSantis and his people could bring focus to Trump and his campaign and his presidency, but I don't think that they could cooperate in that sense. Plus, the media is starting to pit them against each other. I don't know if you saw in Arizona, Trump called him dull DeSantis. When Republicans take back the House and Senate, they will actually get stuff done. I don't know if Hillary is not popular. Okay, so here's something I'm getting nervous about, folks. I'm getting nervous that we're starting to fall into the trap that the Democrats fell into in 2016. I'm going to give you a controversial topic in a moment. I just really enjoy this back and forth with you right now. Thank you. Keep the comments coming. I think part of the loss for Hillary was Democrats thought they had it in the bag. There were plenty of them, and that was also by conditioning of the media. If you went back, and I remember screaming at my wife saying, the media is constantly pushing, Hillary has already won, you Trump supporters stay home. Hillary has already won. Don't bother coming out to vote. Hillary has already won. Hillary has already won. I think that actually impacted the Hillary supporters to say, basically, I don't have to come out because Hillary's already won. What's your input on Tulsi as VP? I'm watching Tulsi go more and more to the right. Thank you for all this interaction, by the way. This is fantastic. She might be a more classical liberal. She might be the dreaded and unheard of conservative Republican. Tulsi is definitely a calming voice right now. I have appreciated it. I'm thankful that she is calm in her approach. I don't agree with her on everything. She's not inflammatory in what she has to say. She can call out this presidency and this administration without being mean about it. Candace Owens for president. I think Candace Owens is better served in the private sector with her reach when it comes to social media and her show on Daily Wire. Yes, I saw that. I wonder if Candace Owens will be running mate. Now, Kansas is going to stay in the primary sector. If I lose, I'll buy you lunch. All right, real quick, you guys do know why I'm wearing the sunglasses, right? I've had damage to my eyes, so as cool as they make me look, and we're kind of going to have some fun with it, I just can't stare at this ring light that you're looking at in my reflection. Who wants controversial topic? It's time for controversial topic. Are we ready? Pause for effect. I got the shot today. Ah, why? Why would you do it, Tucson? No. Because I have my own personal decisions to make. And by no means am I telling you or anyone else that they should or they should not. That is your decision. I have long stood on that hill and will die on that hill. That is your decision. You go ahead. I have not changed that opinion whatsoever. I've had people accuse me of being anti-vaccine and spreading misinformation when it comes to the vaccine. You point out one time that I've said anything about misinformation and being anti-vaccine. I have long stood on the hill of you do what you want to do. I have no say whatsoever in what you do. And the fact that I did something has no impact on what you do. You're a pilot. You need aviators. I do have some aviators. I guess I can start watching. I can start wearing those. So why did I do it? I know. No, why'd you do it? I did it because of my choice. And unfortunately, there was no way that I couldn't. My family and our very, very, very good friends for years have had to put off a cruise that we've been wanting to do. And these cruises stop at other countries. I have no say in other countries. You guys do what you guys want to do. And if I want to come to your country, I have to follow your rules. I wrestled with this, folks. I wrestled with it. And my friends and my wife were supportive. And they said, I got you, Juan. Juan's going to send us something here in a moment. They said, listen, we support you. They know I was on the fence about it because for me, part of not wanting to was being told to. And I think for a lot of you, you might be in the same boat where you go, listen, man, if you just didn't tell me to do it, I might do it. And I've had people, I went with Moderna. Somebody said, which one? I've had people say, what a stupid reason. For you, it's a stupid reason. But for a lot of people to be told by their government what to do, that is the reason to not do it. And I'm not here to tell you one way or the other. I don't tell people what to do. That's the big difference. I'm not going to tell you to do it. You do what you want to do. I wrestled with it till the very last moment. I made one more call to my wife on it. And here's the worst for me that happens. The worst is I was told to do it. I didn't really want to do it. Somebody says I need to explain. I'm explaining. I didn't really want to do it, but I do want to do some of these other things, and I have no say in those. If I want to go to another country, I have to follow their rules. I can't be that hypocrite. I can't have that cognitive dissonance that I've been screaming about to say, yeah, it's my way and it's got to be like this. And then on the other side, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I also don't have to go on a cruise. I don't have to do this. I'm choosing to do this. And as part of it, not by any mandate from this country or my governor or the CDC even has now pulled it back. The CDC has said, you don't have to, but I'm going to somebody else's country and I can't then turn it around and say, well, I don't want anybody telling me what to do, so let me tell you what to do. It was a tough discussion. Yeah, I've just been told I'm fired or I am fire. One or the other. Juan might have told me I was just fired. Listen, it's difficult, folks. I'm fire. It's difficult, folks. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm also not talking about any efficacy or anything like that. This is a fair conversation to have. There it is. Can't get me. Oh, wrong side. There it is. Can't get me. Which is absolutely not the case, actually. But listen, folks, the worst thing that happens here is I got pushed. The way I see it, it's that it's your personal choice. Absolutely. It's your choice, folks. Make the choice right for you. And my friends and my family were willing to accept my choice. We were going to completely change. My wife and I were going to pick another place to go. Our friends were going to go on the cruise. We've been wanting to do this with them for a long time. We're very close. This trip is important to us. And I'm young. I'm not worried. This is me. This is me, not you. I'm not telling anyone what to do. Big controversial topic. I don't think everyone's going to be happy with me, but I would hope that you're happy that I made a choice for me. And at the same time, I'm not telling you what to do, right? I'm not telling you what to do. Do an episode with the flight helmet on. Yeah. We can maybe do that. Do you guys forgive me? Let me know. It is a personal choice. I'm absolutely not telling anyone else what to do. But I appreciate your support and you guys being understanding. Right. And remember, we are sponsored by MyPillow. The MyPillow guy actually does sponsor us. If we could pull that up, Juan. They've been partnered with us for a while. We do have a promo code of RAM, RAM, Romeo Alpha Mike. Go over to MyPillow. There are some good discounts to be had. I have a MyPillow myself, and we got some MyPillow sheets. They're really nice. And I appreciate all of you for being here tonight. Don't forget, you can come back 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Thanks again for being here and have a good night.